Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly re-review Starship Troopers Extermination. This is a game that I reviewed, I want to say a couple of months ago, and it was a really rough start. I was experiencing so many issues with it. There were performance issues, and sometimes, admittedly, there still is. Sometimes trying to find a game is difficult. It's not because not enough people are playing, it's just, I don't know, something with their servers I'm just having an issue with. There was also the issue of screen shake, but they've recently fixed a lot of those things. Screen shake now has a toggle option, among other things, and they've even rebalanced some of the three classes that are in the game. So if you're watching this for the first time, Starship Troopers is a multiplayer cooperative squad game where you're going to go on a series of little side missions and then you defend the Ark, at least in the one game mode. In the other game mode, it's awful. I hate it. It takes an hour to do, and when it crashes, well, you lost all your progress. But typically, you've got three classes, and you're going to be leveling these classes up individually. Each one has a unique ability. The Hunter has a jetpack, for example. The Heavy has like this shield wall that they can put around themselves, and the Support Operator, whatever you want to call him, he's like a medic. He has the ability to instantly revive a bunch of people around him, but the cooldown is very long. As you level these individual classes, you'll unlock new weapons and new grenade utility slots, perks. Unfortunately, at this point in time, there's still a limit to what is unlockable. There's like three primary weapons, a couple of secondary weapons, utilities even, there's like 6 or 7 to choose from. And there's still a lot that are quote-unquote in development. So they've also rebalanced this with the most recent patch to where the operator no longer has the fast build perk, which I think is stupid. It's like the operator is supposed to be some kind of support character, but they're like nerfing him into the ground. Anyway, mutators is something they recently added to the game as well. You have to play it on trooper difficulty or above. There is recruit, which is the easy mode, and then trooper and above, there are forced modifiers or mutations. I hate them. All right, let me go back. I don't hate it, but it's forced on you. There's no option to disable them if you want a harder difficulty mode, but without the mutators. You are forced to play these mutators. These mutators switch out every hour. So if you get a mutator that you really hate, and you're used to playing on normal, then you might as well just play on easy for a while and bypass the mutators so that you don't have to deal with it. There's a couple of mutators in here. I feel like the developers just didn't even bother to field test. Luckily, if you hover over the game mode, you can see under AAS or the Ark, those are the two, again, modes that you can play under. You can see what the mutators are before you jump into it, and you can kind of prepare your kit accordingly. But even then, there's no way to change the kits during the mission in case you need to, which I think is a problem. Again, I feel like they didn't field test some of these mutators. Like, we got stuck in a sandstorm that was one of the mutators, and it was at night. I couldn't see a darn thing. I'm sitting there just bumbling around trying to get from point to point. This made the mission 3 times longer than what it normally would have been. And to top it off, there was a drone mutator where it was like a drone rush kind of thing, and it was just constant drone after drone after drone. Those are the little guys that come after you, and it was just very annoying. It was hard to see, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna play on easy mode for a while until this mutator goes away. There are some other reports where like there was a gunner rush or whatever where there's machine gunner aliens that are like machine gunners. There's like a swarm of those every now and again, and there's like 5, 10, 15 during this mode at once. And 1 or 2 by themselves is annoying, but 5 or 10, 15, it's like, oh my gosh. So like, I feel like the developers didn't really play test some of these mutators or nerf them appropriately before actually introducing the patch. Not to say that the mutators aren't a cool idea. The one I was really, I mean, it was annoying, but I liked it. The warriors were like speed demons, and they were shooting around all over the map really fast. And I'm like, wow, that kind of changes how I play. And I like that. I like the idea of the mutators because they will force you to modify the way you play. However, like some of them I feel like aren't balanced appropriately. The night mode is just, or night mode and that sandstorm, for example, just an awful pairing that should just be restricted from the game. Now, you probably heard me talk for, a couple of minutes about these mutators. Again, for those of you tuning in for the first time, once you get past the series of side missions, whether it's like capture this little point or escort the little ore barrel canister, whatever, to the temporary base, once you get past all of that, there is a 1.5, 2-minute cooldown timer where you've got a little bit of time to prepare defenses, and your goal is to protect the Ark. And this is like the end of the mission, the base defense mode, where aliens will just continuously assault your base. And depending on how well you've built your walls, and the turrets that you've built, yes, they've included a new machine gun twin emplacement turret, whatever you want to call it, but you actually have to physically man it. They're not like the auto turrets that were set up in the game before. Rather, they're a smaller type of just equipable machine gun that you can just sort of stand at in emplacement and just mow things down, which is awesome. So as far as the rest of the game is concerned, I know I have complaints about this game, but I really enjoy playing it. I mean, it's just, there's so many oh crap moments that you'll encounter in this game. Outside of the whole mutator annoyance thing, again, you can play on easy mode if you want to annoy that. But there are some situations that, despite my best intentions of being careful about what I'm doing, sometimes I'll be surrounded by aliens or these bugs, and I have no one around me to help. It's just the oh crap moments, like the panic, and the base defense modes are evenly just as tense sometimes, especially in the harder difficulty settings. But I really enjoy this game. The gunplay isn't bad. I feel like it could be a little bit more realistic. Yes, they've rebalanced. They keep rebalancing the weapons, at least with the latest patch. They've nerfed certain guns into the ground, like the Hawkeye sniper. They took that away from the operator, which is the support class, for whatever reason. And they took away the supporter and the operator's fast build perk. So it's like they're not sure in what way this game should progress, and that concerns me a little bit. It's like the developers are sort of like introducing patches and ideas on the fly and hoping for the best. and that kind of worries me, because I was actually starting to enjoy the way the game was. I was playing on normal difficulty, leveling up characters, and then they introduced this mutators, and they rebalanced my support and operator class, which I actually like a lot less now. I understand why they patched it, kind of, sort of, but it's just annoying how they did it. So, I understand their reasoning for balance changes, but I feel like there was no private testing with this to make sure that, this class really is balanced now. I feel like they're relying on, player feedback after a long period of time. And that's another complaint I have. This patch that was recently introduced took, I feel like, a couple of months to even be introduced. And it wasn't that large of a patch. It's still one planet. You still have limited weapons, limited content. It's the same thing every single time. And there's only 2 game modes. There's a horde mode supposedly coming, but we've been waiting forever for that. So, and on top of that, like I said, the mutators are forced on the medium and upper difficulty settings. I wish they were toggable. I want to turn them off, and I want to play harder difficulty, but with these mutators off. That would be cool. All in all, this isn't a bad game. It has made some improvements, and I hope the developers don't drop the ball and screw this up, because it could be a fantastic game, but it's like the developers aren't filling me with a whole lot of confidence right now. That being said, the game is quite fun, especially when you're playing with friends. There are toxic people out there. Just be careful. Turn your in-game volume off if that's a concern. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.